So I'm going to talk today about nationally coordinated total water monitoring, not just soil moisture.
Out and up so people can see your face.
Okay. All right. And what I'm talking about when I talk about total water monitoring is precip, ET, soil moisture, and snowpack, if that's where you live. And there are some challenges. We work with different budgets. We work with different missions. We have different equipment, different data formats, that kind of thing. But I think there are opportunities for standardization. And there's a whole list of them, everything from sensor performance and installation procedures, QA, QC, maintenance, like metadata. We could use like a common metadata format, I think, for soil metadata and for sensor metadata. And the three that I'm going to hit on today are variables that we want to try to include, and coverage, and just a little bit on siting. So for total water variables, I think what you gotta have for total water monitoring is precipitation year round in a shielded gauge. Soil temperature and soil moisture at the standard depths. Actually, I suppose you could get away without temperature if you didn't live in a freezing environment, but and then temperature, relative humidity, wind at the standard height is preferable. And then solar radiation to round out what the models need. And then snow depth if it's where you're at. Now, one of the things that came up during the brainstorming session is what are the scales that we should be monitoring at? For the essential climate variables for WMO, this is what you've got. This is threshold, breakthrough, and goal. I think goal is for a lot of, they do it by parameter instead of by, but for everything like precipitation, solar radiation, temperature, relative humidity, wind, solar, or soil moisture, and snow depth. I don't think that we're going to see snow depth gauges every half kilometer. I think that's an unrealistic goal, but some of these I think are realistic. What I'm going to roll with here is the threshold for soil moisture, which is 50 kilometers or 2,500 kilometers squared. And then just to kind of compare the essential climate variables of WMO to what else is out there. The UMRB needs assessment came in at 500 square miles. The NOAA co-op modernization from 2004 came in at 400 square nautical miles, which is about 500 square miles. And both, like the essential climate variables threshold for soil moisture that I just had up, and also the National Academy of Sciences came in at 2,500 kilometers square, which is about 1,000 square miles squared, about 1,000 square miles. What does that work out to in terms of how many we'd need to cover CONUS? About 6,000 or 3,000, depending on which standard you're looking at. What does that look like for what we've got right now? Well, using the 1 per 500 square miles. So if you put 1 every 500 square miles, like the NOAA co-op modernization or the UMRB, this is 500 square miles. This is what CONUS currently looks like. If you're going for the other two standards, it would basically be checkerboarded. If this map was checkerboarded, it would be complete coverage. So anyways, like there's the number of cells that show up on that map is 6,400. It's probably realistically closer to 6,000 because you got a lot of coastal ones that just really don't have much of anything in them for land area at all. But we've got about 2,100 cells that have a total of about 3,000 stations in them from 44 different networks. That means that we've got over 4,000 stations with no stations, or over 4,000 cells with no stations at all. And this is where, you know, the white paper I think would come in useful, is if we had something, if we had a plan on the shelf to fill those if the opportunity arose. All right. And then I was just going to mention a little bit on siting. We're getting to the end of siting in the Upper Missouri River Basin, and we've taken great pains to do things that are representative of the soil and not just of weather, which is, to get both is really difficult. And to get ones that are representative for snow too, but makes it even more difficult. And then I don't know, as you get further east from South Dakota, I don't know that we're going to be able to get long-term sites without written agreements that include money. I don't know how realistic that is. When you get to high value land, people really want these stations on their neighbors' lands. So anyways, I just wanted to mention that about siting. One last thing I wanted to say, this is unrelated to the rest of the thing, but I thought since I had your attention, if you guys are writing using data from the networks, just an appeal to make sure you cite the networks that you use in the references. That really helps us out a lot. If you want us to be around, that does help us measure our impact. So anyways, guess with that, take any questions. Are we doing questions then?
Question, that is your reward for staying under time.
Okay.
So you were under time. So if we have a question for Nathan, he gets that reward for being so good.
Yeah.
We can go Carolyn and then John.